Grace, Kumechacha.
Kumechacha.
Grace, grab your tea. Let us drink this beautiful tea. This
This
beautiful Kenyan tea.
Kumechacha.
Kumechacha.
Kumechacha, Grace.
Kumechacha.
Jana tulisema kutachacha.
Tulisema.
Did we not say it will chacha?
Kumechacha.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes.
Grace,
Hey.
I don't know why in America tea is sweeter than in Kenya. Is it the cold, the baridi?
It's a cold season, and tea has just that kiburudisho.
I tell you, the taste of this tea tastes as if I have never tasted tea before.
I mean, this is strong tea. Strungi.
Citrungi. Grace, you know, we don't spend money during end month.
No, we don't.
If you're wise, end month is not the time to spend money. End month is the time to keep money.
Yeah.
You drink strungi, and then when other people are broke is when you come around with good food.
Kumechacha kweli. Kumechacha
Kumechacha,
kweli.
kumechacha.
Kumechacha. Welcome everyone to those who are seeing us right now. Karibu, 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 Kumechacha. Take this time to share. We have an exciting show for you.
Because I last carried this when I was in primary school, waiting for President to come.
Hey,
I tell you.
telling you we are patriotic
Hey,
here.
we love Kenya, America. You better. Hey. Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu. Kenya tunayoipenda daima. Kenya nchi tunayoipenda daima. Tujivunie Kenya, tukiita Kenya nchi yenye baraka daima. Kenya nchi yenye baraka daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutacha Kenya daima na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Na wewe Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
We are waking up the neighbors.
We are making the neighborhood. We are Kenyan. That is what it means to be Kenya. To be authentic, to be yourself. We couldn't get the papers. The bottle.
Yeah.
This American. I think
It's like 10 pennies.
American money. That's what we are using for our instruments today. To share. Constitution.
Hey.
Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote daima. Mtu mwenye kupenda haki daima. Kenya nchi, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya yetu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
I'm gonna keep drumming this drum.
Please share with your friends. Please share with your friends. Invite your friends to our page. Kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kipenzi, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Na ukipenda Kenya, ujitengane na mambo yenye kuvunja haki daima. Na ukipenda Kenya, yenye kuvunja haki daima. Hatutaki matata Kenya daima. Hatutaki matata Kenya daima. Kipenzi, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya yetu, Kenya kipenzi chetu.
worry, we'll sing this song again. We are so patriotic.
We are so patriotic. Since the Kenya Airways flight came to the US, we
Yes.
are different people. We just realized how much we love our country. Never, never, never.
How many of you are coming back? After 2 weeks. Yes. Yes, I'm gonna share with our group and get started. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Welcome to Tujipange African Breakfast Show. We are noisy. This is a Kenyan show. We are noisy by nature.
Noisy by nature, but we'll try not to.
I was going to take us through as I'm about to post in our group, and then we'll just get started. Leave the chorus, our friend. Keep us on the
Kenya ni baba yetu, tena ni mama yetu, hatutaacha Kenya daima milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Hey, Grace. Kumechacha.
Hi, Kumechacha leo.
Yes.
See, Kenya Airways flight is making us remember things that we've forgotten from the days that we were young.
Right.
Yeah. Hey.
Kumechacha, everybody. Grace, you know we should not have radio silence. We can never have radio silence. We can never have radio silence.
I was having. Okay, let me make
we can never have radio silence.
Yeah.
You can never have radio silence. People should see that we are here. We are sharing, so share with your friends. We're about to get started. This is a patriotic episode. This is a very patriotic episode today.
Wetu Kenya tudumishe, mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Sitadanganya kamwe na porojo, mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Wenye kuleta chuki kati yetu, mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Sitakubali ukabila, mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Mwenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Grace, am I supposed to be flying this flag if I'm an American citizen?
If they say fry the flag,
fry the flag, fry your flag. Please take your flag and fry it. Take your flag and fry it. We are all Kenyans. It doesn't matter what your accent is.
Yes.
Take your fry and fry it.
Yes. So while we eat fish and the samosa.
Yes.
Wow. Kumechacha.
Grace.
Welcome everyone to the Saturday Africa Diaspora Breakfast Show. We appreciate you joining us today.
Yes.
Being with us as we share with our networks. Thank you for sharing with your networks. We're here today having amazing breakfast that we'll show you today. Grace, this is a beautiful day. The Nyawawas, I think, have cleared out.
The Nyawawas already went. The Nyawawas disappeared. We are back to normal. Yes. And we can have our meals.
And now we can have our meals in peace.
In peace. Yes. So what do we have for breakfast today?
Well, I want to say give a big shout out to the 44th tribe of Kenya because you have inspired our meal today. Kencho.
Saruche.
Habari diaspora.
Special dedication for our samosas.
Yes.
Pangatapane kyata me pani jugartam. Pangatapane kyata me pani jugartam. Koi ni nazar lage maru pe yukariko.
Hey, where?
The Indian community in Kenya, we are eating your samosas this morning.
Yes, these are the veggie samosas.
Vegetable samosas.
So they are potatoes.
It's
not like the potato. What's it called? The beef samosas that we're used to, but they are delicious.
We have a 44th tribe of Kenya called the Asian community.
Yes, so this is our nice potatoes. What is this, Grace?
Mango chutney.
Mango chutney, and then with onions on the side. What else are we having for breakfast? We're having, hi Patricia, thanks for joining us. Another thing that we're having for breakfast is dengu. Dengu, yes.
Dengu.
Yes,
Pojo,
dengu.
Pojo.
They're called green grams.
Yeah.
I found these at an Indian store. And they are, in English, they are called mung bean. M-U-N-G-B-E-N. Mung bean.
And we appreciate the Asian community because it is in the Asian stores, especially the Indian stores, that you get the Kenyan foods here in the US.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's sprinkled with a bit of carrots. This was prepared quickly. You can make it nice. You boil it first, and then you cook it with kitungu. I put coconut milk in this, but you can put a bit of water or even a bit of regular milk if you want, and then sprinkle those nice spices that you love in the house. Another thing that we're having for breakfast, Grace, you have this contribution that looks like a hot dog. Although honestly, I miss Kenyan sausages. Yeah, we have
hot dogs, mbwamoto, hot dogs.
Who used to sit on kitimoto?
What is kitimoto?
Mbero.
Oh,
yes. So kitimoto, mbwamoto, these are American hot dogs.
American hot dogs boiled with tomatoes and onions and some hot sauce. We love Louisiana. That's our favorite, Louisiana hot sauce.
Yes. Yeah. And not to forget, we are a big. We say that self-care. We are a heavy.
Yes.
On self-care, so whatever we eat, we have to put something that's vegetables or fruit, something that's healthy. And not only do we have carrots, we have baby carrots. We also have an amazing display. Grace put this amazing display. Look at this decoration. Wow.
Raspberry, strawberry, grapes.
Yes. Let me take some and put here. And what else do we have? We have Grace made some beautiful ginger juice. Nakwambia, it's being drank.
Plum on ginger.
You drink it systematically. These are things you don't drink of your drink. This is a ginger.
Yes.
Ginger is really good for nausea. And
and baby carrots for your eyes.
Yes.
Keep your eyes healthy.
And because we are ladies and we like tasty things, we also have a side of chocolate here. Ooh, sorry, the chocolate refused me and fell down. So we have a kitoweo for you today. We want
dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is really good for you. Dark chocolate.
So Grace, and not to forget our classic Ketepa Kenya. Cheers, Grace. Me always tell Grace, let me tell on Grace today. So Grace drinks sugar like she's in class 5.
Grace told me I was inviting diabetes. Grace saw me inviting diabetes to my breakfast this morning. So Grace, I'll try. I think I've been doing well. I've been taking honey. So I'll get one of our lady friends to send me some honey. But last time I bought honey from the corner store, it had sugar. Sugar at the bottom.
That's not authentic
that is
sugar.
So I just went back to sugar.
So look out for natural honey and recognize brands that don't mix in other things into your drink. So Grace, what did you do for self-care this week?
Great. It's bad manners to eat food.
I've had a kishadu. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima.
Kenya ni baba yangu, tena ni mama yangu, misitaacha Kenya daima na milele.
Kenya kipenzi chetu Caroline Mwangi, thank you for joining us. This Kumechacha
hapa na Kenya. Kumechacha hapa, we just realized we are authentic Kenyans.
Yes.
We are in a foreign land. We love this land, but we are authentic Kenyans.
Yeah.
And my self-care this week, this Facebook, Manenos, has made me not meet my friends. I used to meet my friends for lunch, for dinner, breakfast. So for self-care this week, I called 2 of my friends. We had lunch. I got to visit one at their house, and it was just an amazing experience.
That sounds good.
Yeah, an amazing experience. And when you visit someone's house, appreciate it. The house was beautiful. Everything was wonderful.
Wow.
I loved the kids.
That's
everything
awesome.
was so nice. I was like, wow. And the warmth and hospitality that I really miss, I found it in that home. Yeah, I don't find it on Facebook. I'm best friends on Facebook. But when you see the real person, don't say I'm pinching you, but face to face.
Just pinch me with love.
When you meet someone and pinch them and feel them, that's different. Can you see how I'm growing? I got my groove back just because I met another Kenyan friend and we had a blast.
You know, there's nothing like physical contact. So and I think this is the time to give a shout out to the groups that are having reunions, to the groups that are having meetups. You know, a lot of times you meet people and you realize, you know, people are living right next to you. People go to the same market like you do. And if you have an opportunity to meet people in person and share and say, and we took this, you know, we took the same way to work, you know, for the same, you know, we went to the same school, and you can touch and talk with the person. There's nothing like it. Yeah,
and Grace, that is one strength, Kenyan strength, that I would not like us to lose. You know, the meet and greet, just meeting and greeting and being ourselves and laughing like fools, you know, laughing from the pit of our stomach. Yeah, that's socialization. That's really not here. There's a lot of individualism here. Just that get together, like I had just called Caroline or Patricia or Grace, and it's like, let's go out.
Right.
You know? It's amazing.
And I think this, we were talking earlier this week about positive qualities. What do Kenyans, I know, you know, Kenyans, we have our, you know, Kenyans have good and bad. And sometimes we can tend to focus on like the negatives that Kenyans bring to the new environment. But there's a lot of positives Kenyans bring. We bring community wherever we go. You know, we introduce people to the concept of community and family and bringing money together and a different way of organizing themselves. And that's pretty great. We take it for granted, but they become a valuable skill here. Yeah. So
that was amazing. And Chris, what did you do for self-care?
For me, for self-care actually was Kuota Jua. Kuota Jua is a concept of sunbathing. I think they call it sunbathing, but you know, once I'm someone who's I was born, I'm a child who was born at the equator. So
you born when the sun was dancing on the grass.
I was born on the, you know, I'm always chasing the sun. I was born in the evening. Adhiambo means a girl born in the evening. So I was born chasing the sun because the sun was setting and I was trying to look for it. So the sun rejuvenates me actually. When we did our university city video, actually, it was such a beautiful day. And I took the time to just bask, you know, bask in the sun. You know, it's like a natural resource that we take for granted.
Yeah, and Kenya. Did you not find it amazing that the students, the university students around that city were so busy? Everybody had their own notes, trying to be creative, and it was not even exam period.
You think so? I think it was exams because those children were working around like them.
They were really working so hard. Yeah. I didn't see any riots or demonstrations, but maybe we were not there at a difficult time for them. Well, I know they do riots sometimes.
Well, unless it's something, college students actually have been very instrumental in the fight for civil rights. I know in the 50s and the 60s, universities were the ones that did sit-ins, are the ones who marched. Stanford University students were, you know, so the riots, sometimes they can rally around and make meaningful political change. But compared to the university we are used to in Kenya, sometimes some universities have like notorious identities, kutupa mawe, throwing, but here they seem to be kind of, you know,
and the way that campuses are in all different places, they're not really in center city.
By the time you walk from one building to the next, you're tired.
You're tired. And by the way you carry a stone, I didn't even see stones. They seem to have removed all the stones from around the university. But by the time you walk around to pick a stone, some policemen will have stopped you because the policemen circulating the whole place in bicycles. But Grace, let's go to the most interesting news for me this week. This arrival of Kenya Airways from Nairobi to New York. You said you traveled, or why were you so excited?
I was so
smiling
excited
from ear to ear.
I was excited because it means that one, you don't have to deal with any other people. You know, flying can be flying is very tiring. Even if you love flying, the concept of being there, taking your socks off, putting it on, putting your belt on, putting it off, and especially when you're going to Europe. When you're going to passing through Asia, it just decreases. You just have to do it once and you're done. And there's also like the pride of entering an aircraft and you say, you know, this is Kenya Airways. Many times as Kenyans, we have gotten on Ethiopian Airways many times.
How was it?
Imagine Ethiopian Airways was really nice.
Did they treat you like a human?
Yes.
There was no attitude.
There was no attitude.
Okay.
There was no attitude, but I really wanted for me to say we have Kenya Airways direct flight. You know, it's Miss Jui.
But now, how many Kenyans? First of all, you're saying that you are proud that the Kenya Airways came here.
Yeah.
You are proud, but you are not on the flight. Did you have special dinner? What do you eat pride? Like,
yes, I eat pride.
I
eat pride. Yes, because you know.
What are you proud of?
Like,
Kenyans have just this thing of like, we are so happy because there's a flight. We are so happy because the railway is coming.
But I'm flying the flag high because I feel like you know, we need something to be proud of. I think Kenyans need something to be proud of, and this was one thing to be proud of.
So what?
The ability for us to travel direct flight. It's just a status thing. Why there flights to South Africa, direct flights to South Africa, direct flights to Ghana, direct flights to Addis Ababa? It's time for Kenya to. It's time to Kenya. Kenya, hoye, hoye, hoye.
I'm a doubting Thomas.
Yeah, doubting Thomas.
Don't be a doubting Thomas.
We'll wait. Yeah, you'll get on flight number 15.
Let me tell you the truth. let me give you a reality check. The people who should have been proud, maybe, and the people, the air hostesses who earned a salary, the pilot who was paid, the person who was flushing the toilet, these are the people who benefited from the flight. Will you as Grace, you and I benefit from that?
You know,
although I do know that I felt a sense of accomplishment. Can you remember how when we were walking everywhere, everybody was speaking to us in Swahili, and I went to buy some foods for the dogs, and this lady who was at the counter said, you know, I live in Kenya. I was down in Limuru for an exchange program, and now, you know, they really wanted to associate with us because of the flight. Yeah, but did we really benefit?
Yeah, I think
we really benefit from that.
I really believe we benefited because one, value is not just in currency. There's value such as people recognize us more. There's value such as increasing the ability of Kenyans to fly freely without being hassled. You know, Kenyans get hassled. When you're out of Kenya, you get hassled everywhere.
Hi, Lynette. Hi, Grace One. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I know there's a lot of discrimination in the other flights. I was discriminated against on a KLM flight to the Netherlands some years back. There was this white lady, she had 2 kids, and the kids were touching my head. They probably had not seen a black lady. First of all, the kids started crying because I was black. They had never seen a black person. So that alone traumatized me. And then they were pulling my hair. Those days I had locks. They were pulling my hair on that long-hour flight. And when I complained to the air hostess, she just ignored me. And they were hostile. She did nothing about it. So throughout this flight, imagine you are how many thousand feet above sea level, and the kids there were 2 kids, kept pulling my hair. Yeah, and I said, you know, if I do anything, I don't know what's going to happen. I might alight at the next whatever and be arrested. I'll be locked up in those cubicles. So I have had several discriminations, just flying a different flight than ours. And then I do remember, I don't know if the Kenya Airways crew have changed, because in the past they have not really treated Kenyans well. Let me tell you, you have very high expectations.
No, I really have high expectations because as a child, let me tell you, just like, I think it's something like a childish, it's just, me, I don't see anything wrong with just being happy. When we were younger,
are they happy?
Yeah.
Let
me tell you,
are they happy?
The Kenyan tax is paying for them, and diaspora remittances are taxed. Count me there. My parents are my family is working Juakali and putting money into the economy, which is paying for Kenya Airways. So put my name there. You know, when we were younger, KQ was the pride of Africa, you know. And even amidst troubles, it's nice.
It used to be the pride of Africa, but some of the stories coming from those planes, of people just the crew just refusing, serving the white people, and serving Asian people better than fellow Kenyans, and that's the reality. What is going to change about this? Is it because the former Safaricom CEO is now the Michael Joseph? Yes, because he's there now. Like, is he moving some Safaricom behaviors there? I just want to know whether How will they change? But
me, I don't want to be too critical because
okay.
you know, if you're critical, then they'll be critical towards you. You know, I think it's an important first
okay,
step.
I hope nobody from the
yeah.
that Kenya Airways is watching me because I really I've said some things.
Yeah, one thing I'm proud of, you know, is when you get on other flights, they always do like English and then do the same hearing.
Yes.
On like the other language. So if you're going to Amsterdam, they'll have it in Dutch. I always like it when Kenya Airways does it in Kiswahili and does it in English. Yani, I feel like, wow, this is a Kenyan flight, and they're going to cater to the people that speak Kiswahili, the national language. So I think it's just, you know, it's just a different way to travel. It's a different traveling experience. We have options, we have choice. There's some people who will choose to be loyal and fly get on the national carrier, and those are the types of little experiences you're looking for.
Yeah, but there's quite a big difference before. At least let's see the difference now, because these people have a direct accountability. People will be watching them, and Kenyans will be flying. Or maybe not Kenyans, but some people will be flying from Kenya, and we may get foreign exchange or foreign revenue. But there was before this problem of the flights change, you know, from Nairobi, I think, to Amsterdam or something, it's Kenya Airways, and then it moves to KLM. There's such a change in behavior. Yeah. People start calling you ma'am, excuse me, ma'am, would you like some water? The accent changes. But in Nairobi, sulishaomba soda. Kwani unataka kunywa soda ngapi?
You get to Kenya, you're like,
although there's a Kenyan friend of mine who asked for 10 sodas when we were going to South Africa.
Did you see the video that was circulating online about people eating, and they thought it was Kenya Airways? People had ugali and fish.
Yeah, so what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? What do you want? Do you want to eat 1,000
That's a good question. I want omena.
Yeah.
KQ Catering, if you hear us,
omena.
Here are samples. Here are some samples. We are giving you free advice.
This is the menu we want in the Kenya Airways. Tujipange menu. Samosas.
Yes, samosas. What else? Nyoyo.
Yeah, omena 1,000 boys. Kisumu 1,000 boys. We have omena in New York. Susan Olwatch sells very fresh omena from New York. Yes. Yeah, so you can order your omena. Kenya Airways, you can order your omena from Kenya or from New York.
So let's go through what we want on our menu. So from Kisumu,
Managu,
we need to cover the whole of Kenya.
Yes.
So from the western part,
this is gonna be 12 hours flight.
Yes.
So the first hour, tuanze na njugu from Kakamega. Na Bungoma, fried njugu karanga. Tukicross boundaries kidogo over the Nile, hapo. Yes. Tukule nini?
Obambo
rasuya. The fish with the powerful perfume. Yeah. And then as we cross over, tutaanzia Githeri wapi?
Hapo kwa Wakale we have like mahindi.
So mursik na mahindi. Kenya Airways, please keep changing the diet as we go 1,000 feet higher and higher.
You know the Kenyans like eating higher every hour.
So when we are closing near heaven, when the clouds are near heaven, kabisa, biryani na pilau na kabanana kadogo, alafu na lemons, because that time you'll be feeling a little nauseous. Usisahau lemons. You know, Kenya Airways,
that's a good idea, because sometimes when you fly, the food there just makes your stomach like fill up. So yes, biryani na ndimu, kuku wanazi there in our coast, just divinjari about 3 to 4 hours when you're about to start screaming. And in Nairobi, you know what you'll eat? Remember those boiled eggs that
mayai boiled, that's what I'm thinking. Mayai boiled, na usisahau kachumbari.
Kachumbari classic. Na hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Yes, shout out Devi, hot dogs.
Hot dogs, yeah. So Kenya Airways, we have high expectations from you.
Yes.
Give us the Kenyan diet. You can use this to market, even if you make it more expensive. Yeah. Market Kenyan opportunities.
Guess what can we get from Luyaland? Me now, I'm starting to eat in my head. What can we get from Luyaland? Ile mboga ambayo the mrenda
Kenya Airways utatupikia mrenda. Please get the people who can cook Kenyan food. Employ not people who have gone to utalii. Hata utalii wanapika hiyo. Let me be fair. So.
Grace, hi Grace. You're saying it will be one smelly flight, but it will be the most Kenyan flight you
It will not be smelly. The way Obambo, that fish, the way it smells, it is like perfume. You can spray it all over you, and there's no problem. What will busa? Hey, busa, I think. Yeah, because we are not
don't small wines. Atutaki beer, atutaki wine.
Busa, changa legal.
Yes, changa is legal. Changa is legal. They approved like home brewing, I think.
Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda, Kenya nchi tunayoipenda daima, Kenya nchi tunayoipenda daima. Kipenzi Kenya, kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Send you Kenya daima.
What other regions have we missed? You know, in a central.
Yeah.
No.
Mugodoi.
Mudokoi. Mudokoi. We want Mudokoi. We want Mudokoi.
And I feel like that Kikuyu, that sweet Kikuyu nini sausage ile inaendaga round.
Mutura.
Ay.
By the way, who has Mutura in the US?
We want Mutura in the US. We want to be, yeah.
Yes, you put Mutura as an appetizer, as one of those after hour 6. You have
slept
and woken up.
Kenyans say something is theirs, they're proud of it, and they have high expectations. So Kenya Airways challenge.
Yes.
We want the Kenya Airways challenge, and Grace,
yes,
we're gonna give a gift to the person who will send us a picture or write the Kenya Airways challenge food, the food you want on in the Kenya Airways.
The best menu option will win something.
We'll send you the gift of the week.
Yes.
Kenya Airways challenge.
For our northern cousins, like in northern Kenya, I don't know what the cuisine is like, but I feel like camel milk, yani the camel, I want to taste some type of exotic
camel
cuisine.
Milk or goat milk?
Camel milk, goat milk, even camel meat I will look at.
Like, let's be sensitive about hot dog because we have our Muslim brothers and sisters.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
No
that's
dog
true.
meat.
No dog meat. No dog meat.
Yes.
Yes. Where else? Grace, I don't want to make. I want to make
sure.
Did we
leave out anybody?
Did we leave out anybody? Kisi.
Ni matoke, sindio?
Matoke. Yeah, the land of bananas.
That's airway. That flight will be heavy.
And I'm telling you, Grace is mchanganyiko
maalum. Yeah, we want that. Nanjibukaranga. See, people will visit the toilet how many times?
Yeah,
but Grace, this just brought us into a very interesting topic. The Kenya Airways brought us nostalgia and raised serious issues on what is citizenship. The way that choir was singing Kenya Kipenzi Chetu on the plane. It just made us wonder, like, who is a Kenyan citizen? What does it mean to be a Kenyan citizen? And when you come to the US, does that change? Even if you become an American citizen, because remember that there are two pledges. There's the American pledge when you get your citizenship, and there's a Kenyan pledge. So which one? Where does your loyalty lie? Because the first one, I just wrote it here, Grace. When you get your citizenship, the American pledge says, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, right here, of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. I pledge my loyalty to the flag of the United States. And then when you're a Kenyan citizen, you pledge your loyalty to the president and the nation of Kenya, my readiness and duty to defend the flag of our republic, my devotion to the words of our national anthem, my life and strength in the taste of our task of nation building, in the living spirit embodied in our national motto Harambee and perpetuated in the national philosophy of peace, love, and unity. So when we're talking of citizenship, we normally say, you remember that verse that says, ukienda Kenya sitarudi, nikitoka Kenya sitarudi. Na nikitoka Kenya.
I'm telling you, we have lyrics.
We printed this thing because we are serious. We're studying the lyrics of the word. It says,
na nikienda nje sitasahau
na nikienda nje sisahau mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Nikienda nje sitasahau Kenya. Na nikienda Kenya nitarudi.
Na nitabaki Mkenya daima.
So when you're looking for the American citizenship, are you being a Kenyan daima?
You know, Grace, I think that at this point, first of all, Grace, we have to acknowledge the people that came before 2012, who came to seek better pastures, and due to constitutional law, had to surrender their citizenship. Will we say that these people are not Kenyans anymore because they had to make a decision that was critical to their survival here in the US? Are we counting those people out as Kenyans? In 2012, when the constitution was changed, it removed that clause that kind of allowed the dual citizenship to become a part of the Kenyan experience, meaning that people who had to sacrifice or put away or discard their Kenyan citizenship could have the chance to do that again. you know. So what does that mean for people who are coming back and saying, me, I want to be Kenyan again? Are we opening the doors back to our you know, it's like, I don't want to say like it's the prodigal because maybe they did not choose to do it. Are those people still Kenyans? Are those still Kenyans?
I have no idea.
Kenya is a culture.
Kenya is a way of life.
Kenya is a, by the way, Kenya is a way of life.
And let's just say this citizenship, it's in paper, but it's really in people's hearts.
It's really in people's
in our hearts. Because even when you get that American citizenship, you still go home and make your ugali. You not start eating hamburger and other stuff just because now you're an American citizen.
You know, over time, if you go into Kenyan families, you find just people eating ugali, have tea and ketepa in their homes. People still maintain their culture and their identity. And so I know that for a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people have struggled with that. You know, Kenyan pride, Kenyan loyalty and allegiance versus American love for America.
So should you change your culture? Should you change your culture when you become an American citizen? You're pledging your loyalty to the country and to its people and to its culture.
Yeah, who will catch me if I don't?
So you need double dipping.
Who will catch me? Who will catch me?
Is it a kind of a betrayal to become an American citizen and still sing the national anthem? But because Grace, when can you interrupt? The day that flight landed in New York, you could have thought there were no Kenyans here had citizenship. Everybody became a Kenyan. So is it something you're missing at home? I mean, can you just work in America and go back?
No, you can't. No, you can't. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of people may have been hesitant, you know, may be hesitant to talk about their own status experiences, because not everyone will come to you and say, hi, I'm Kenyan, but I'm really an American citizen, because people don't want to be separated further. You know, people don't want to talk about it because all of a sudden Kenyans stereotype you and put you in a box. But sometimes we have to become citizens to survive. So why are we being so harsh on? Why are we being so harsh on our fellow Kenyans, cultural Kenyans? I'm a Kenyan daima. You know, we pride ourselves on bringing great quality and being Kenyans and bringing our energy.
I think being an American citizenship and still holding that Kenyan citizenship is like polygamy. You're trying to serve two wives,
but then there's no problem.
You know, they cannot be equal.
They cannot be equal, but they can coexist. If they agree to coexist, because the US said that they don't really recommend dual citizenship in any case, because those are conflicting loyalties. If your country ends up being in war, or even if you're trying to get a security clearance for some jobs that are based in the US, you may have to make a decision one way or the other. But I believe that dual citizenship is a way for people to expand their networks. Imagine if you have the power of a US and a Kenyan citizenship. Instead of it being a deficit, how can we look at it as a value? How we look at it as Kenyans now being able to travel to even more countries than before. You know, let's talk about how hard it is for Kenyans to travel to other countries. You need 34 to travel in Kenya. In the Africa alone, you need 34 different visas. If you have the US, if you know the privilege of a US passport, along with that, you can travel freely and bring your Kenyan culture wherever you are going. Mwacha mila ni mtumwa, na mila and legality are two different. I believe legal and culture are two different things. What do you think?
I don't know. You know. I'm not sure. But this citizenship thing remains a big deal. It remains a big, major issue all the time. And now that people who even were able to get their citizenship by being born here, it's become a challenge. They're being threatened by none other than the president of the US, threatening to strike them out, strip them of their right to be a citizen. So this citizenship thing, it needs a lot of prayers. It needs someone. I think we need a leadership, especially coming to voting on Tuesday. We need a leadership that understands, has empathy, that respects the constitution and understands and abides by the law. We can't have a leadership who wakes up in the morning and decides to abuse their power and say we are stripping people who were born in this country, or those people who had already got their naturalization. Even if it was the person was undocumented, I think the law says the child is always innocent. But to make people live in fear, you know, knowing that, you know, that your citizenship can be stripped of you, it's not fair.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is the time at which we need all these diverse citizens. You know, Kenyans, you know, the Kenyans who are citizens, Kenyan Americans.
Wow. There's no
we can now.
there
is.
There's not such a word as Kenyan American.
We will make Kenyan American.
Okay.
We'll make our group. We make our stand.
It's called Kenyans of Americans of Kenya. No, we are not Americans.
No, I'm gonna say
we are Africans.
But you know, Grace,
Africans in America.
Grace, I want to say that I respect the people that came here in the 50s, the families that have come here and carved a life and have gone back and contributed. These, you know, we are new people here. There are Kenyans who have come here and contributed and gotten into the fabric of what makes America a great institution. And we recognize and honor their voices. And that's those are the people we call, the people who got on the air landing with Tom Boyer, who came to study in the 60s. Yeah. And came and changed. And one of them
had a son, and that son became the president of the U.S.
Enough said. Enough said. Let's get you to the next topic. Obama is here.
Obama is here.
Yeah. So with the value that we bring, I think it's important, Grace. I really think that's a great point. The November elections are happening. The primaries, or what are they called?
Yes.
They're happening, and this is really an opportunity. And this is for those of people who do not have the ability to vote. Please reach out to the Kenyans, Kenyan Americans, who encourage them to vote. Encourage people to go online and separate fact from fiction.
Hi, Marina.
Hi, Maureen, and get an idea of what's happening. It's really, really important.
Yeah, and a lot of people want that citizenship. Remember that in the US, you can only vote when you're a citizen. Yeah, if you don't have a green card, you still can't vote. But whatever vote you make and whatever leader you choose will make a difference down in your village. Because if you choose a leader who will not support some of the values in your country, or who will strip you of the values in your country, then you will have lost a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So voting is very important. Yeah. And sometimes by not voting, you let the person you do not want in power.
Yeah.
And then if you do not vote, you should not complain.
You know, Grace, let me give you such a great example. There was, you know, the hairstylist, the hair braiders, Belinda, shout out,
Belinda, vocation in Germany.
The people that beautify the Kenyans and the Africans and even Americans here in the US are primarily people who are immigrants. Many times they are undocumented, or they could be documented, but many times that they didn't need to operate with a business license.
Yes.
And then a governor of a particular state decided that they were going to close all these shops because they were not operating on a license. Now you can say that all these people need to get licenses, but at the same time they did not recognize them as people. They did not give them the opportunity to be onboarded. They were not looking at the community aspect of what these people are looking for. Maybe it's poverty. Some people are not able to go to a government office or lack awareness on how to do that properly. But they came and shut everyone down. They destroyed people's livelihoods. This is an American governor making decisions, right?
Yes.
That can affect people on the side. So it's up to us as diverse people representing Americans and also those who are not Americans to take into account all these things and give an informed vote, lend your voice.
Yes, and Grace, on that note, we were talking about a lot of the times we keep discussing about some of the bad habits that we bring to the US with us. But why don't we talk about the strengths, the resilience, the good habits, you know, the positive qualities that Kenyans bring to the US, that make a difference. I was just looking at how resilient we are and some of our problem-solving skills and some of the stuff people go through here and still come out strong, you know, building communities, building networks, you know, building groups, you know. So Kenyans have some great qualities.
Let me tell you, Grace, you can put "I'm from Kenya" in your resume.
Yes.
You know why? They'll say that you have international work experience.
Yes.
They'll say that you have international volunteer experience. If you're looking for work that emphasizes multiculturalism, they tend to look at people who are able to say, I worked in Kiambu, you know, I worked in Mombasa.
Yes.
Those are skills that Americans pay a lot of, or other Europeans pay a lot of money for. They pay like $10,000 to come to Kenya and do that. We can bring that and put it on a resume. It's true.
Do you know that you can put in your resume that you can make good tea, that you can make good mandasi, and that you can smile? Just put in your resume that you smile a lot.
Yeah.
Because that positive energy is needed in the office. I tell you, winter is coming. Winter is coming, and that is the time when people have this stiff mouth till they can't even smile. That you say good people like. So look at your skills, look at your strengths, listening skills, you know, being lively, you know, being friendly. You know, don't underestimate those skills.
And the community value, I think, us being community centered, speaks a lot to the soft skills. You know, dealing with in-laws will teach you a lot of patience, attention to detail. When you're continuously asked to be in Harambe committees, you want to know where their money is going, so you're attentive to detail.
Yes.
You know, you are able to bring different ideas. When someone wants a birthday party and they wanted to do it carnival, they wanted to do it at home, you're able to mediate. So these are certain values that we bring, and we can communicate them in a more like an interesting way, I believe, compared to other people. So I think there's some good qualities that we have.
Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote daima. Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote daima. Hatutaki matata Kenya daima. Hatutaki matata Kenya daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu. So you know, Hatutaki Matata Kenya brings us to the next topic.
Yeah.
There was some interesting stuff that happened in Kenya this week. And one of them was to do with Congestina. Yeah. And she got help. It is none other than Governor Sonko went and got her from Yala and took her to the city, took her on a flight. And there were a lot of misgivings about that. And I saw some people were blaming the leaders in Nyanza, or even blaming the community as a whole that they abandoned her. I think what's important that mattered first was that someone brought her issue to the library. It's not the first time that she's going through that. And I think it's fair to be fair. I want to ask any of us here, our viewers, any of us in Kenya, whoever took $1, 10 shillings, 5 shillings, some groundnut, sukuma wiki, and sent it to Congestina. Who gave her even 5 shillings, even a candy when she was suffering? Because when you're pointing fingers at others, this one is pointing back at you. Before we start blaming the community or blaming others, what have you yourself done? Have you ever? So that is one. Congestina's history. All the leaders you're blaming have been catering for her medical bills all over the years.
But you're probably not reading that.
You're not reading that in the news. They were paying for her when she was at Avenue Nursing. They were paying for her when she was at Mata. They were paying for her when she was in all these hospitals. All over these years, she's been in hospital.
And we're talking about mental health.
Mental health. She also had physical health. Who was visiting Congestina at Avenue in Kisumu? How many people in Kisumu went and visited her?
Keyboard warriors, where are you?
Keyboard warriors who are making noise and shouting, oh, the governors have failed, the leaders have failed, the opposition has failed. They have been supporting Congestina all along. It's just the other day when good-hearted friends, Apoyo Biggie, we give a big shout out to you. Apoyo Biggie went and they baked a cake, with Auga Ogola, Jerome Ogola's daughter. They're my cousins in a way, So Kabasele was my cousin. So they went, baked a cake, and took it to Congestina in Yala. That was October 16th. How many people in Kenya remembered, or in the US remembered that Congestina had a birthday on October 16th? Nobody. So we are quick to blame, but we don't really, we don't read news, we don't check out on our friends. But when someone does something, then we want to blame the whole community. People have worked with Congestina in this journey for a long time. There are people who have, even some of these leaders have accommodated Congestina in their house. So I think it wasn't fair to blame the community. But first ask yourself, what have you done? What are you doing? And what can you do? What matters right now is that we have moved forward. And since Apoyo Biggie, actually it's Apoyo Biggie who exposed her. Silas Odhiambo. Migogni Night. Don't forget to watch his program, Wagogni Night. You know Wagogni. The women, daughters of Luoland, or daughters who are married somewhere else.
Migogo.
Migogo, daughters who are married somewhere else. He has these programs, but he has an organization called Good Hearted Friends. They went and visited her and gave her a birthday cake and bought her some clothes. In fact, when Sonko went to get Congestina, the Good Hearted Friends were doing a fundraising for her to get blankets. She didn't have blankets or even clothes to sleep on. And those who are making fun of her, going and taking pictures of her, what did they do for her? Giving her 50 shillings and then posting on Facebook. Facebook can be your best friend and your worst enemy. Yeah. So let us just our famous celebrity is getting her. Be supportive. Visit her. Send her bundles. Yeah. Send her bundles. You know. Yeah.
Do something.
Do something about it instead of blaming it.
Yeah. I also want to say that in the spirit of using this as a moment to move Kenya forward.
Yes.
You know, when we think about mental health as being an issue that Kenya needs to really do a lot of work on. There's been a lot of exposés on the treatment. There's been a lot of information in the news lately about mental health in Kenya, about substance use and how people are treated in Nairobi, around the nature of the medical facilities that exist. I don't think a lot of people have information and knowledge and support to be able to move forward and do that. We need better supports when it comes to insurance. We need to honor our shujas, because I don't know, maybe there's some people, younger people watching, but when Congestina came on the stage,
I tell
you see how excited about KQ. The way we're excited about KQ, we were more excited about Konje. Because Konje from Huruma.
Konje.
You know, Konje from Huruma like this.
I tell you, when she did her boxing thing, hey, great.
Yani, that Konje has hit me over here.
I've conjured you.
So you know, that's when we I'm telling, like, I think
Konje.
Konje
is my shuja. Konje is my shuja.
Because we celebrate in en masse, and then we abandon our people, because we abandon our people.
Yeah, but Grace,
you know, Kenyans need to embrace that for there to be pride, work needs to be done.
Yes.
You know, we can't just sit like, who's going to build Kenya? Who's going to build Kenya? We don't allow your comments.
We need some people who can break the law and break culture.
Yeah.
We need head-headed people who can ask questions. Because we have a culture that does not allow us to say that we are sick. When women want to get married, or a man wants to get married, we have a jasema and a jagam, someone who goes and investigates. Oh, they have this in their family. Oh, they have this in their family history. Oh, they have mental health problems. Oh, they are night runners. So people are afraid to talk about their physical and mental challenges. But I like it here. These are some of the freedoms in America that we have, that even if you have mental health, you tell people that I normally have depression. Me, sometimes when I'm walking in the road, I talk to people, I see people, I hear voices. I hear voices that sometimes, when I Grace, when I put a spoon in my ear, I can talk to some spirits from the other world. People here are open. And there's support groups. There's so many support groups you can go to, and people are not ashamed.
Mental health stigma is also in the US, but there's a lot more information about it. There's health insurance. You know, the government or the health insurance systems recognize that this is something that people need care for. Systems in place to allow people to go and get therapy.
And great, you know. Besides that, they have escorts. If you have mental health issues and you can be violent, or you're gonna fight people, or you might do something dangerous to yourself, they give you someone to escort you to wherever you're going. They escort you to school. They escort you to see the doctor. You know, you have someone who is paid to just do that stuff. And it's so important.
And we recognize that some places, we also have to recognize that not all areas in the US equal. So there's some people for whom, like, some have available online are also online, you know, and online resources. There's online therapy. If you're somewhere, maybe you don't have an escort, you can have someone walking with you, someone on the phone supporting you as you walk. There are support groups that are for free. You know, there's so much that's around. There's so many conversations that people are able to have. But one thing that I've come to realize, that mental health is something that has been acknowledged. The lack of transfer into a new system of government. I was actually reading that in Luo, anxiety and panic attacks have Luo names. Names there. That, you know, Kihondko is panic attacks. And then Chunymotingore. This is, I think, I got
it. I think you got it from one of the groups.
I got it from one of the groups. So I'm giving, I think it was shout out to, I think,
we have Luo. We have Tujipange. Also.
Yeah.
Communicate with spirits.
But we also have doctors. We have, you know, I think it's important that we go back to our own cultures and see how they conceptualize these this mental health,
you know. We have medicine men, not witch doctors.
No,
but we have medicine men. Witch doctors are those who cause bad things to happen. Medicine men are those who are versed in herbal medications, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's a big difference.
I want to acknowledge that, and shout out to groups are a great place to learn information from Luo women groups. You all are doing an amazing job. You get to learn about things cultural things that you say, you don't feel alone. You know, because you're sitting here and you're saying our people didn't have this. This is probably, some people treat mental illness as like an American thing. Only Americans can have mental illnesses and can be because the rest of you are crazy. Look back and see how, you know, we have had people with mental health in our families. People with schizophrenia have lived and thrived in those names. But they maybe have been called different things, or they've had different meanings in our culture.
Yes.
How can we bridge that gap? Because Kenyans, I think we feel like we are not owning ourselves.
We're not being real.
We are not owning ourselves.
We're not being real.
Yeah.
And then remember when we were talking last time, we discovered that there were traditional healers right here.
Waganga
Marufu. No, we don't want that to happen.
But I've been wondering if you know, nowadays, as the world is moving towards alternative medicine, holistic medicine, you can find some, even on the groups, you see people talking about different like herbal remedies and things like that, turmeric, ginger, things like that. Those things have existed longer than Kenya was Kenya. So how can we go back to our own cultures and see how people were treated? Because dignity, you know, Kenyans and mental health and dignity, you know, we need to bridge those gaps.
So Kenya, we have some great qualities which we just need to build on and not focus. Kenya used to be famous for corruption and other bad stuff. Like Grace, I was just reading some bad news here and there. But if we focus on the positive and use it to build our strength, and just support one another, lifting each other up is always an important value in life. You have today it could be you, tomorrow it might be someone else. So it's important to be really supportive. And then there's no need to be lonely. Loneliness in the US, loneliness at home causes a lot of trouble. I was just looking at some single people's conversations, and they were saying as Christmas is now approaching and Thanksgiving, people do not invite single people to their parties. Because they're afraid these single people might snatch their husband or wives. So single people really get lonely. Grace, this reminds me of a time that I had a single people's ceremony in one of the hotels in Kenya. And the single people were supposed to come and interact. And there were 105 women and only 5 men. Do you know how they fought for these 5 men?
I saw a video where they lined 6 men up and told all the ladies to run and stand behind. And the women really pushed each other. So single people can be lonely, but you can reach out to these groups. There are meet and groups among singles. Don't be lonely, because loneliness leads to depression. Loneliness leads to suicide. And other mental health and even heart problems. And I think it's important that we talk about it, because maybe we have those, we are Kenyans, but we are removed. We're in a different land. So we are using our platform to share this with you. For even if you are supporting a family member who has a mental illness, we want to acknowledge you. Because it can be a lonely path to travel. Because it's not just the people who are experiencing it, it's the family or the supports that are put there in place. If you're doing that, you are a shuja, actually. You're a shuja, taking care of your family member, taking care of the loved one. If you're a social worker, it's a thankless job in Kenya. We appreciate the work that you put into the community to bring us up. You know, even though entrepreneurship and moving forward is encouraged, we build the community and we pull the community up with it. You know, we pull the community up with it. And don't be afraid of being Kenyan. Be proud of your accent. That is who you are. Be proud of your accent and use it. A lot of times, like in some of the workplaces, some of the employers will appreciate if you bring in a new language. So don't be ashamed to speak your language. Don't be ashamed to be Kenyan. That's who you are. You're not someone else. You know, I use my fun fact is the number of languages we speak. In Kenya, we take for granted that most of us speak at least 2 languages. But if you say that as your fun fact, even in your resume, it's wow.
3 languages.
You know, wow. You know, those,
you can get a job just because you speak English, Swahili, and the 3rd language.
These are the privileges that we get as Kenyans. You know, Kenya tunayoipenda, daima. Kenya tunayoipenda, daima.
Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda daima. Kenya nchi tunayoipenda, kwenye nchi tunayopenda, kwenye nchi Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Caro, I remember singing those songs during Jamhuri Day. Yes.
Yeah, I remember when I was in primary school, standing in the hot sun in Kisumu, waving for President, was it Moi then, or Kenyatta to pass? Yeah, but then those songs did not have a lot of meaning. But now being in a foreign country and missing some of the qualities, missing some of the values, you really come to, look back and say, wow,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, even the people who were singing the song at the airport, they were adults. They were not kids. They were not kids.
Yeah, it's it's pride, and I think, Grace, with all this, at the beginning of the episode, you're saying, why are we so proud? Like, what is it? It's just great to be part of pride. Me and Sijui, I just love it for free. Kenya, I love you for free. Kenya, I love Kenya for free. It's that invisible bond. Why would people act like this? Why am I acting like this?
Did you see this part? Sitaharibu mali ya wengine, mimi mwana Kenya daima, na majirani wangu nitalinda, mimi ni mwana Kenya daima.
I think that wenye nchi wenzangu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Oh, you're saying you will not leave Kenya forever, but you are refusing to leave America.
Kenya is a way of life. Kenya is a way, is a culture.
Kenya is a software.
It is a way of life. It is a software.
Yeah, so we like to dwell on the positives in Kumechacha.
Yeah.
Where's Kumechacha?
Kumechacha.
Promise Kumechacha.
Hey, let me drink my ginger.
Let me drink my plum on ginger. Kumechacha. Yes. Sorry, technicality. Even in our community, there's some bad things going on, and we do appreciate that you've heard about Kenyans reporting each other to Homeland Security.
Wow.
To send them back home. Really.
Fitina.
Hakuna kitu kibaya sana. Afadhali mchawi. What is that song? Afadhali mchawi kuliko mfitina. Afadhali mchawi. Better. Mchawi is what? Grace. What is
witch doctor?
No, a witch.
A witch. Yes, a witch.
Better a witch kushinda mfitina. Afadhali mchawi kuliko mfitina. Kwa vile mchawi ataenda kwa waganga wa Tanzania wamsaidie, lakini mfitina is not treatable.
So a witch,
malice.
Yes, a witch is better than a malicious person. A witch will go somewhere else to probably do something to impact you, and you can probably get treated for it. But a malicious person,
you cannot treat malice.
You cannot treat malice.
When they have sent ice to you, it is irreversible.
It is irreversible.
Imagine a fellow Kenyan. Sasa vile tunaimba mimi ni mwana Kenya daima. Do we mean it? Do we mean it?
Are you your brother?
How can I pick my phone and call ice? Deported.
We are our people.
You are your brother's people.
Yeah.
Remember, what has this Kenya done so bad to you that you have to have them deported? Why would you do that? Yeah. So we have some of these bad things going on. We have Kenyans leaving others to be stranded. It is hard for some Kenyans, even when they have the means, to just give you some accommodation, to just give you $20. They know you are stranded out there with your kids, but they will not support you. So those issues are here and there, but they are not the majority. They are a minority. And then keep company with the people who support you. Why are you hanging around people who are going to have you deported? And then be careful. Keep your successes, keep your plans intact. Don't tell everybody your plans.
I think these are not just like Kenyan ideals. They're maybe like ideas of human
Universal,
living.
yeah. Don't tell people, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for this interview. Someone told a friend, their best friend, that they were going for an interview. The friend called there before the person even reached and said, "This is a very bad person. She drinks a lot. She's an alcoholic." This was her best friend.
Me, Grace, you know me, I don't live on fear. Me, I live on courage.
Yeah.
I live on courage.
Even if your friend does not get that job, you will not get it.
You will not get
it. So umefanya kazi bure. I used to like reading kazi bure. Who had the bald head and used to on the things. Yeah.
And I want to talk about then you're probably watching this and saying, okay, then I'm not that kind of person. You know, what is the majority doing? You're probably looking for a way to support Kenya. You know, what are some of the ways that people are supporting Kenya? People are supporting Kenyan businesses. People are supporting Kenyans through the businesses. The amazing marketplaces that exist.
Marketplace.
I want to supporting Kenyan businesses, supporting people who are activists on Kenyan issues, but not just even Kenyan issues, raising issues that necessarily would have been talked about much in Kenyan circles. These are around issues of mental health advocates. We want to talk about autism. You know, we know I want to give a shout out to Victoria for like opening up to a world and talking about raising awareness on autism. You know, people are, you know, so that people can go home and say, you know, maybe that child is not like there's something wrong with that child. You know, probably need to get healthcare access worldwide. People can go there and get recommendations on healthcare from doctors who are in Kenya, also in the US. Are supporting other Kenyans. You can go to you can probably start selling mobile phones and internet, so we can buy internet from you because the internet is being, you know, we support Kenya by putting our money where our mouth. We can do that by putting our money where our mouth is.
Support a Kenyan sister or a brother. Buy their peanut, buy their groundnut. We have a friend.
Contribute to conversations.
Lorna is selling peanuts, Brenda,
start a contract.
Omena in New York.
These are the people who will be doing the contracts.
Please inbox us. Lorna has Omena that has just arrived from the lake. Omena peanuts, you know, jugu, you know. You can let us support our brothers and sisters. Let's buy things from each other. That's how you support somebody, not by reporting them to be deported.
Don't be a keyboard warrior, be a keyboard lover. We want to see
words per minute.
We want to see keyboard love. We want to see likes. We want to see love. We want to see laugh and contribute.
You can turn Facebook into heaven.
Comment and say great job. You know, it's you know, see your kazi. It's one of the great things on Facebook is you can log out of it. You know, log in and out.
And you can delete.
You can delete.
And you can block. And unblock.
So these are the Kenyans are influencing the clothes that Americans are wearing. You know, Sawa collection.
Sawa collections. Somebody wanted me to remove this dress on the train, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna remain naked." I mean, my culture being naked is a curse. So people love these things. Reach out. You know, we went to the Legacy place. And we saw how the Black history, the African American history took place. And we just saw, you know, that image of them being brought in the ship and looking through the wooden planks. And we said, you know, these are our brothers and sisters. Let us reach out to them. You can move your business even out of the Kenyan circle and to the African American community. Show them the clothes. They love them so much.
And Kenyans are being acknowledged in space, acknowledged in American spaces. So reach. You know, if you want to make connections, don't just think that it's white men, white women that can elevate you. You know, it's your people that can bring you to that national stage.
What you give is what you get.
Someone will go. I think that I saw a really great article about a Ugandan Ugandan gentleman who decided to pursue his passion of having like getting into fashion and making t-shirts against his parents' wishes of engineering, but he kept pressing forward, and now he's a much after sought designer throughout the world. How do we support our people? How do we encourage new initiatives, breaking out of the doctor, engineer, lawyer? How do we encourage how do we encourage diversity where we are?
Yeah, and then show off. One thing in America is they
Yeah.
love it when you show off what you have. Show off your quality, show off what you have.
Mhm.
Be the Winyoma Nyasure.
Yeah.
The band that you...
Winyoma Nyasure, Winyoma Nyasure, Winyoma Nyasure, Winyoma Nyasure, one Winyoma Nyasure, Kada, Winyogo Bumbe, one Winyogo Bumbe, Kada, Winyogo Bumbe, one Winyogo Bumbe, Kada, Winyogo Bumbe, one Winyogo Bumbe, Kada, Winyoba Oko, one Winyoba Oko, Kada, Winyoba Oko, one Winyoba Oko, Kada, Winyoba Oko, one Winyoba Oko, Kada, no.
Show off your skills.
Yes.
Show off what you have.
You
So
know,
that people can buy it from you.
Kenyans are really good at being humble.
Mm.
You know,
Oh, I have these earrings up. I have this whole box of earrings under my bed. Yeah, bring them out. Show
bring
your
them out.
skills. Show what you
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Bring yourself out to the world.
yeah.
And the world will give back to you.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mm.
Kumechacha.
Kumechacha.
Kumechacha. Yani, I'm
Kumechacha.
feeling so much Kenyan pride. I don't know what to do.
Kenyan.
I
great.
think I'm just gonna fly on. I'm just gonna fly on this positivity overnight flight to
You're gonna
Kenya.
be walking in the air. I'm Kenyan. I'm Kenyan.
I'm Kenyan. I'm Kenyan.
We'll show you are Kenyan by
Yeah.
your action.
Yes.
By good deeds.
Yes.
Yeah, that will not just be a word.
Yeah.
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 A word is nothing unless it is translated into an action.
Yeah.
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 So,
Hey, kumechacha kweli.
Kumechacha.
Kumechacha. Hey.
Kula samosa.
Nimekula samosa, nimeshiba. Thank you everyone who has been watching us. I know there's been some bit of like technical up and
Yeah,
pale,
today we had technical
but
difficulties.
you know, Kenyans are resilient.
Mhm.
People of the diaspora are resilient. I'm really glad you brought the Legacy Mural. Because you know, also some type of slavery people were taken from the East Coast who were taken to Asia and Arabia
Yes.
for slavery also.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
acknowledge that
Mhm.
there are people of African descent who are living on the other side of the country, or other side of the world, through probably similar history. Karibu, we welcome you, we acknowledge you.
Mhm.
You know, we are many. We are many.
Yeah, and this, we talked about being consciously aware of your surroundings.
Mhm.
And I was just looking at this story where some lady
Mhm.
was arrested. She's a citizen and
Mhm.
she was in a road accident.
Mhm.
And they arrested her
Mhm.
and jailed her for 3 years.
Mhm.
Her daughter said, no, my mother is a citizen.
Mhm.
She came, she went to the naturalization process. She came with the legal papers
She was naturalized in 98.
in 98,
Yeah.
10 years
Mhm.
back. Yeah,
Mhm.
that she had a road
20.
accident.
Imagine.
20, yeah.
Mhm.
Then for
Okay.
10 years when she was
Okay.
arrested. So she had an accident, they arrested her. So when she came out
Mhm.
of the detention, after her daughters brought her passport
Mhm.
to prove she was a citizen, they went back with her daughter to pick her gun. She had a licensed gun,
Mhm.
because in some parts of in America, they allow you to have a licensed gun.
Mhm.
They detained her. So she just got paid 55,000
The government.
US dollars, the
Mhm.
US government,
Mhm.
because she was a citizen.
Mhm.
So this just shows how this eyes thing is tricky.
Yeah.
And that sometimes when you're a citizen, you have your papers, you might still be unlucky.
Yeah.
Because when the detention guard was told, when she
Mhm.
told them the daughter brought the passport, the man
Mhm.
said, you're nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
nothing. You're not
Mhm.
gonna, we're not gonna pull you out.
Mhm.
So there are people around us that have bad attitude.
Mhm.
They have
Mhm.
Not remember, not everybody around you has goodwill. So you have to be conscious of your surroundings.
Mhm.
You have to have a 360 degree of
Mhm.
awareness,
Mhm.
and you have to be your brother's keeper.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
what happens to someone else who
Mhm.
has the papers
Mhm.
can happen to you.
Yes. And I think right now it's especially important. And even as we're having
Mhm.
conversation of culturally Kenyan versus legally Kenyan,
Mm-hmm.
the laws have created a space in which both can occur.
Mm-hmm.
And you have such an amazing platform to,
Yes.
even though you recognize that you still have risk, you have an opportunity to influence and change. And I think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And as we go in and continuing and building and supporting Kenyans,
Mm-hmm.
this is the message that we bring to you. Thank you.
Sell the
Yeah.
Kenyan brand. Leave the
Yeah.
world. Leave America better than you found it.
Yeah.
And leave Kenya better than you found it.
Kenya is a software.
Kenya is a software.
Yeah.
Kenya is a now. Kenya is a culture. Kumechacha.
Kumechacha. I think that's your catch up is funny.
Kenya is a culture. Kumechacha.
Yes, Kumechacha. Grace,
Yes.
I think we're just going to continue finishing this delicious breakfast. I hope you are having breakfast as well. Remember, self-care is important. Nostalgia is a real thing. Take what you need to keep yourself healthy, keep yourself safe. If there's anything that you're given that is not supposed to be yours, don't take it. Yeah? So enjoy yourself. Take your, if you're at work right now, you may be watching us. Kumechacha. Everybody have a beautiful Saturday. Chris, any closing words?
Oh, the music. Have a beautiful Saturday. Don't forget our videos and don't forget to watch us on YouTube. And we'll see you during the week. We normally do our prompts on Wednesday and Fridays. Kumechacha out and about. Thank you for being part of our family.
Yes.
Don't forget to take your breakfast because food is medicine. Yeah, food is medicine. Food is good for the body and the soul. Yeah.
Kenya kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu wapi peke hatutaiacha milele. Kipenzi chetu hatutaiacha milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu daima. Kumechacha.
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 Kumechacha. Kumechacha.